that creates the upper bench. There is a 32.5 acre division there that goes along the mesa. That is off of the, I believe, the San Andreas fault line. One of those. That actually, you can see the ridge there. And so the lower bench is 180 acres in total. We will be doing 5 different habitat zones, the largest being the coastal native prairie, the native grassland. That will be 65 acres. And the intention for that is so that our raptors have a place to forage. And that will be the most difficult of all of the restoration that takes place here at Bolsa Chica. Native grass is very, very difficult to establish, particularly when you're dealing with the acreage already infested with non-native, more aggressive grass species. And also when I say grass, it also means wildflowers and forbs and herbs. It's not just a straight grass. It's certainly nothing that you'd think about mowing. Along the edges, the perimeter of the site will be coastal sage scrub, vernal pools, seasonal ponding areas. We also have an Isha, which is an environmentally sensitive habitat area on that side called Warner Pond. Warner Pond will be cleaned up. A separate project will be expanding that and kind of turning back the clock a bit on it. We have a eucalyptus Isha on that side, which is our raptor habitat. That Isha is currently failing because those trees are now over 100 years old and hitting the saltwater table underneath it. We will be going in, cleaning up the under canopy, replacing it with coastal sage and coastal grassland, and adding in native trees, native tree saplings. The idea being that as those native trees grow up, those trees that are present out there right now that are non-native are dying from the tops down. So as they die down, ours grow up and create that balance. At the foot of that bluff line, we will be taking into consideration what we call urban drool. That development will be having a lot of quote-unquote fresh water running off of it. We'll take advantage of that in addition to some seeps that are naturally occurring out there. And that will be a mix of mostly coastal sage scrub and also riparian habitat. So depending on how much water we're able to collect and naturally utilize on there, that will determine that plant palette. Here we're at what's called a pocket wetland at Bolsa Chica. It is a small remnant of a freshwater creek that used to run through here. However, back in 2005-2006, when the larger wetland restoration was done here at Bolsa Chica, this area was able to have fresh salt water reintroduced. It was the first time that any type of fresh flow of water was in this pocket in the past 49 years. Within 1 month, we were able to see a dramatic change in the wildlife usage of this area. It used to be covered in a very funky orange type of algae. The salts were completely off, the water just was stagnant. Within a month of the reintroduction of fresh ocean water, we see California brown pelicans, we see a number of egrets, a number of shorebirds, all taking advantage of this area. This is one area where I can say that the fix here was somewhat simple and somewhat easy. Although, when I mean simple and easy, it took 5 months and probably about $2 million for the excavation and the inlay of culverts to allow this water to come back in here. That was all done with very heavy machinery. There are still remnant problems that we're working on fixing above the water line as a result of that, but it was definitely for the greater good. We now have a lot more bird habitat here. You may want to see that is a great blue heron who is coming down. He is one of the shining examples of why Bolsa Chica needs upland as well as wetland habitats. That bird will feed here in the wetland as well as on our mesa, and it nests in those dead eucalyptus trees up there. Every year we have about 13 mating pairs of great blue herons, and around February and March their babies are born and squawking away up there, and to increase that population of bird species. But that is one of many birds that need both wetland as well as upland habitat. That was the challenge here at Bolsa Chica. A lot of people like to break it up into bits and pieces, but that puzzle does need to come together, because without the upland habitat for that bird to nest, the wetlands is just a food source. Where else are they going to go? You need both. In Southern California, we have very, very few remnant areas like this left, where you have both a wetland as well as an upland ecosystem. They work together, they need each other. The health of the wetland is dependent also upon the health of the upland. A lot of nutrients will come down through that soil when you do have rain, and that feeds this wetland as well. So it's very important to have that balance. And fortunately, through many years of persistence and legal battles, we are able to say that we now have that balance here.